Hey YouTube, Dark Richician of Team Sorcerers here, and welcome to a new series of videos that I thought I'd start doing. And yes, I am in my pyjamas, but yeah, it's Friday night. It's chill out night. As you can tell from the title, it's called Dark Richician's Yu-Gi-Oh! History, where basically I just talk about some really memorable moments from my time playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Like any point from the autumn of 2003 to today. And I thought I'd start things off with something pretty simple and seems appropriate, which is how I got into the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the first place. I did tell this story a couple of times in videos on my original channel, but obviously since that's gone, I thought I'd do it again. Some probably know the story, some don't, so yeah, let's just get into it. So yeah, it basically all started all the way back in September 2003. See, until that time, I didn't even know of Yu-Gi-Oh's existence. Like, it started out in Japan in either the late 90s or 2000. But all I know is that the original series anime started in Japan in 2000. There's in season 1, not season 0, and I believe the English dub came out in 2001, whereas the game itself came to the TCG in 2002, but I didn't even know of the game's existence until September 2003. Well, it wasn't something I ever thought I'd get into, to be honest, because things like Pokemon and Digimon and things like that aren't generally my thing. But basically it was both the original series anime and my youngest brother Chris that got me into the game, pretty much. Like during this month, September 2003, I saw him watching one of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Episodes on a Saturday morning. More specifically, it was the episode with the duel between Joey and Mai in Duelist Kingdom. But I didn't really think much of it. I thought it was just another Pokemon and Digimon kind of deal. Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, it is in a way, but obviously it's a different game. But I didn't stay in the room for very long because it just didn't interest me, at least not yet anyway. And I believe round about the same month he acquired some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, just a few commons from Legend of Blue Eyes and Legacy of Darkness, as far as I remember, and he wanted to give me a game, but I was kind of hesitant and wasn't really up to it because it wasn't my kind of thing, but then I went along with it anyway, and actually kind of enjoyed it, not gonna lie. And obviously do keep in mind that we didn't know all the rules at the time. We thought there were rules, what are the words I'm looking for, that are applied but didn't exist, like, if that makes any sense. I'll explain more about that in a moment, but obviously we went with the rule where we just summoned level 5 or higher monsters without tributing anything, and normal summoned in face-up defense mode. um, things like that. But one other rule we was was where we thought life point damage was done in a way that was different from how it's actually done. Um, this is really badly worded. Because originally we thought that if a monster in attack mode was destroyed in battle, the owner of the destroyed monster would be inflicted 100 life points times the level of the monster. And we also thought that any monster could just attack any monster regardless of attack strength and knock the attacking monster's attack points off that monster's defense points, like, if that makes any sense. So let's say, for instance, there was a Dark Magician on the field and I was to have 2 battle axes. I figured that attacking it with 2 battle axes would be enough to destroy it, but obviously a few months later, like I think in January, February 2004, we then learnt how life point damage was actually done. Yeah, it was so goofy. Oh yeah, and we also didn't even know that direct attacks were a thing. Because it didn't happen in the Duelist Kingdom season, so yeah, we didn't think attacking life points directly was a thing. Anyway, back to our early duels. It was enjoyable. Like I said, there were only commons. We had no rares or higher. And I even remember the strongest monster in my deck was Robotic Knight. And for a while, that was actually my favourite card until Dark Magician earned that role. But I'll go over that in another episode, I think. So I quite enjoyed it. Sometime after that, another Saturday morning, I walked in on Chris watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. This time it was the duel where Yugi was dueling the ghost of Kaiba. What I saw was something pretty intense and kind of exciting happen, so I sat down to watch the rest of it with him, like, just because. I mean, I had nothing else to do at the time. When the episode ended with the white lightning attack shooting at one of the magical hats, and then the to be continued sign thing popped up, I was like, oh wow, this is actually really good. I want to know what happens next. And luckily the next episode was on the following day, so I watched that. There was another episode on afterwards, which was part 1 of Joey's duel with Rex Raptor, but I didn't stay to watch that for some reason. Maybe because I was still kind of, I don't know, I guess I was slowly but surely getting into it, but that wasn't really something I could get hooked onto just like that. But then we played a few more games of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I started watching more episodes, and I really got into it. Yeah, I feel like it was around about October time when I was really getting into the game, and over time we acquired better cards and actually learnt all the rules, and it then this game then ended up being a big part of my life, and it just changed it so rapidly. It really did affect a large part of my life from that point onwards. And it's kind of hard to imagine what my life would be like if I never got into the game. And it just started a huge chain of events, starting with finding a couple of forums on the internet and meeting people. I then went on to make pretty much almost every friend I have. Like, I still have lots of friends from before I knew Yu-Gi-Oh was a thing, obviously, but then I met an even larger number of the friends I have today because of the game of Yu-Gi-Oh. In fact, I even have my current job because I got into the game, although that was down to meeting a certain former girlfriend at one of Derek's tournaments. So that was after basically a chain reaction of meeting of friends. It started by finding this forum, meeting this guy Bruce on there, who co-hosted tournaments in Watford. In fact, September 2004 was when I started attending tournaments. And then, like, about 3/4 of a year later, I attended the Edgeware tournaments, which Bruce went to, and through him I met another friend of mine, Tobias, who I interacted with only a few times, but we properly became friends in September 2006. I think. I mean, it might have been like a few months earlier, but I know we started interacting more during September time, and then that was when he told me about tournaments in Aylesbury. So he then took me along to those, where I met Derek G and Shaggy Dave and all the other original Yu-Gi-Oh crew from Aylesbury, and this former girlfriend Anna was there as well. Like a few months later, we ended up getting together, and then it was because of her that I now have my current job. So yeah, funny how that works out. All because of a trading card game, which was the type of thing that, like, in the early 2000s, I never ever thought I'd get into, not in a million years. But then again, it also, this whole chain of events also started just by deciding to go on the internet and go onto forums and look for other people to duel. It's incredible. Oh yeah, and let's not forget that I probably wouldn't have discovered YouTube if it wasn't for Yu-Gi-Oh! I didn't. I found that YouTube was a thing back in early 2006. I know it was created in 2005, but I didn't know of YouTube's existence until 2006, which I discovered through another very good friend of mine, Brendan. A Yu-Gi-Oh friend who I've been friends with now for 15 years. Like, that's wild. And then I got into making YouTube videos, although that was mainly down to my other brother, Andy, aka Andy Von Jag. So yeah, he has his own YouTube channel, and that inspired me to make videos, mainly funny, silly ones to start off with. Like I kept saying before, my original channel did start mainly as a comedy channel, but then it evolved more into a Yu-Gi-Oh channel. And then of course I met several people over YouTube who I've become very good friends with, like Dark Richician 1989, Emma Blue Eyes 10, Neo Nexus, Kalo Shade, Scapegoat User, Inkweaver, who was not a Lord of Light, Ultimate Gamer 31, Heavenly Guinea Pig, Mr. Sasuke Dragon, oh god, who else? Jinrai Prime, who's Emma Blue Eyes 10's other half. And then of course I met a few of those guys in person. I've been to Margate 8 times now, and I've been to Cornwall to visit Emma Blue Eyes and Jinrai Prime once. I would like to do it again at some point, but I don't know when. Yeah, it's been fantastic. Yeah, just meeting so many great people because of the game I love. Oh yeah, and let's not forget, just literally everyone else I met through Derek's tournaments and Dead Universe Comics is tournaments as well. There's a lot of names to list. Hopefully they know who they are. I've formed some fantastic friendships thanks to the game. And like I said, I just can't imagine what my life would have been like if I never got into the game all those years ago. That's really all there is to say about it, really. And wow, this is 18 minutes long. I didn't even plan for this video to be that long, but yeah, what can I say? So that's it for this episode. Let me know what you thought of this episode, and feel free to tell me how you guys got into the game of Yu-Gi-Oh as well. There'll be plenty more of these to come, I'm sure. I've got plenty of other Yu-Gi-Oh memories to share. I don't have a fixed schedule for them, of course. Anyway, that's all I got for now, so thank you very much for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya.